Hey everybody, and welcome to Weight Loss Wednesday. I'm Chef AJ, the creator of the Ultimate Weight Loss Program, and this is where I show you recipes that will help you achieve healthy, permanent, and sustainable weight loss. So today I'm showing you one of my favorite salads from my book, The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss, on page 226, and it's called OMG Watermelon Salad. Now you don't need this recipe written out because it's literally only 3 ingredients plus lime juice, and I don't even have the measurements written out in the book because it's really is few or as much of the 3 components as you like. This is good all year round if you live in a place where you can get watermelon all year round, but it's especially good it's summer for 4th of July picnics and barbecues, and regular people will eat this. I'm telling you the truth. I serve this to regular people that eat the standard American diet that aren't even vegan. And speaking of vegan, thank you, Kathy, for my beautiful new apron. And people love this. And I'll even tell you about a variation you can do for people that really don't eat healthfully. So we're starting with a watermelon. And the reason I'm showing you how to cut a watermelon is because if I showed you just this recipe and everything was cut up, it would literally take 30 seconds. But I want to show you how I learned how to cut fruit from Chef Ramses Bravo, the executive chef at True North Health Center, because when I work in the kitchen there, we have to cut up about 40 pounds of fruit to get it ready for the breakfast at 8:30 a.m. And anytime you cut anything round, you need to make what's called a stabilizing cut, because when people cut themselves, it's usually because the food is moving. So what you want to do, whether it's a watermelon, a cantaloupe, a honeydew, an onion, anything round, even a bell pepper, is you make a stabilizing cut. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to cut a piece off like this. Okay, and now this round object can sit straight up on a cutting board so that I can work with it without it jiggling around. And so then what you do is, of course, you want a good knife, and then you just go all the way around. Now, I am not an expert in this by any means because I don't do this as often as they do at True North. But the idea is you want to get as much of the white and the green, leaving as much of the red. But you can always go over if you've left a little bit. And this is just the easiest way I have ever seen to cut a watermelon or anything round. And it works really good. And you can get practice by doing this. You'll get better. You know, if there's a little bit of too much red left, don't worry, I'll eat this. It's not going to go to waste. You see that right here, too much of the white, so you can just go back and do it again. It's better to take too little than too much and lose all that delicious watermelon. Watermelon is one of my favorite things to eat any time of year, but especially in the summer when it's ripe. And there's a variation in the book that I'm going to tell you about in just a minute, that what you can do is if you made too much of this salad, or if you're sick of eating it, you can actually turn it into 2 other recipes, one on page 227, which is the OMG watermelon salsa, and you can even turn it into a cooler. We almost always make this when I teach at Rancho La Puerta in Tecate on cooking classes, and people really love this salad. It's very easy to make, especially if the watermelon is cut up, which, by the way, as you know, you probably can get cut up watermelon in most places. So what I want to do is I want to get all that off, and then I'm going to start making slices. And you can get off as much or as little as you want. There we go. That didn't take too long. And then what I'm going to do is now, I still have a little bit too much white here, so we'll get that off. I wonder if a vegetable peeler might work. I never thought about doing that, not on the rind. So then we'll move all this out of the way, and then I will cut my slices. There we go. So what I then do is sometimes I'll stack a few, and then I try to make the cubes about the same size, not so big that they won't fit into your mouth. And then I go the other way. And that is just a pretty easy way to slice a watermelon, don't you think? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my bowl. And the size of the cube is up to you. I always think about, you know, our kid's going to be eating this. We don't want the pieces so big that people can't get it in their mouth. So the 3 ingredients are watermelon, cucumber, and mint, and then it's going to be splashed with some lime juice. Now, The ratio is up to you. I prefer more watermelon than cucumber. I certainly don't want to do more cucumber than watermelon. Cucumber is a fruit, by the way, because it has seeds. And I've already chopped cucumbers up in advance. And again, I'm probably not going to take the time to make the watermelon exactly the same size as the cucumber, but I want the cucumber all the same size. So what I'm going to do is just going to put in some cucumber, maybe half as much cucumber as watermelon. Or you can put as much as you want. That looks about right to me. I'm going to mix that up. Maybe another scoop. Now I'm using the organic Persian cucumbers. I prefer those in this salad because the traditional English or hothouse cucumbers often have a waxed skin that you can't eat, and they're also very seedy and wet. I like these much better in this recipe. And then the last ingredient is fresh mint. I love these little containers I get from Tupperware. They keep things fresh so long. It's called the Fridge Smart. And I'm using these wonderful herb scissors that Sharon McRae gave me. They have like 8 blades, and they make everything the same size. So it's very, very easy to use, especially if you don't have wonderful knife skills like me. As you know, if you've watched me before, I have something called trigger thumb, and there's times that I just can't even use a knife if I'm in my brace, sometimes for up to 2 months during a flare. So I love these scissors. You know, in the old days, I used to cut my herbs in a food processor, and that will work as long as it's really dry and as long as you make sure there's not a single drop of water. Mint is probably my favorite fresh herb. I almost always use it in a salad. You might have seen some of my videos using the Holland bowl mill where I'm chopping salads. If I'm doing that, then I won't need the herb scissors. And again, it's really as much or as little mint as you like. Now, after I put the lime juice on, then it's going to marinate for a little bit. And what happens is after a day or so, it gets kind of, weepy, too much liquid. And so what I'll do then, if I don't want to eat it anymore, is I'll turn it into salsa. And all I do is take a jalapeno pepper, the seeds I've removed because that's what makes it so hot, and I dice it very finely, and then I have watermelon salsa, and it's fantastic. And then if it really gets kind of mushy where you just can't eat it, I turn it into a slushy. I put this exact salad in a blender with some ice, and it's one of the most refreshing drinks you've ever tried. If you've ever been to True North, you might know there's a famous photographer that has taken all the pictures there. His name is Henry Grossman. He loves this salad. I even wrote in the book that he loves this salad because everybody loves this salad. Now, if you're serving it to regular people that aren't even plant-based, what you could do is put in some vegan feta cheese. It goes very nicely in this salad. It'll be probably very high fat and processed, but for those people, that might be a nice addition. And so then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take a little splash of lime juice. I don't know, maybe that was 2 tablespoons. Yes, I'm using a bottled lime juice. This is organic because I find, because I travel so much, the fresh lemons and limes, they just go bad in my house. The watermelon will release its own juice, so you don't need to put so much lime juice in. This is just a delicious, refreshing salad. I'm definitely gonna bring it to our 4th of July barbecue, I'll tell you that. And put it in a pretty bowl, and if there's a pretty piece of mint that you could just put on the top. I don't really have any pretty ones right now, but what you can do for the 4th of July is I like getting those little flags at the 99-cent store. But a quick, easy, delicious recipe called OMG watermelon salad. I hope you'll try it and let me know if you like it. Thanks so much for watching another episode of Weight Loss Wednesday. I'm Chef AJ, and I truly believe you can have both the health and the body that you so richly deserve, and I try to make it delicious. I'm going to eat this right now, as a matter of fact.